Hey, wait, you. Yes, you. Did you know that you are crazy amazing?
Well, if you didn't, we're here to remind you. I'm Katrina Carlson.
And I'm Jefferson Denham, and we're here from the Crazy Amazing Humans podcast, where we highlight everyday humans doing crazy amazing things.
People like you and me who give back, pay it forward, and make an all-around difference in their communities and beyond.
From folks like Dr. Tom Katina, the only doctor for 1 million people in the Nuba Mountains of Sudan.
To Jonathan Mooney, who went from an illiterate sixth grader to an Ivy League college graduate and is now one of the foremost advocates for those with learning differences.
Every human being has value. Everyone has something to give, and they have a strength that they can use to better their lives and better the lives of others.
But wait, there's more. We're also committed to bringing you the most practical and inspiring information to help you discover your very best self. Because the world needs the best of you, of me, of all of us, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, Jefferson. So come join us, because no one should have to go it alone.
And it's easy. Listen now for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Right, and follow us at Crazy Amazing Humans on all social platforms. We'll see you there.
Please listen carefully.
Well, hello, universe, and welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Kristy Jansen.
And I'm Summers McKay.
We're part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to help make it one focused on solutions.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And now we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy, I think I've started unpacking boxes-worthy podcasts. Today is someday in March or April or February of 2021. Okay, so that was a bit of a fumble to open. What's crazy, Kristy, is that I am almost at a point where I have the whole open memorized. Do you have it memorized too?
I have it memorized for the most part, and once I start going, it just sort of flows off of my tongue. It flows, right?
It flows. So, as many of you know, we are kind of wrapping up our Austin week, our little travel week here, as I have been moving to Austin, Texas. I look forward to updating you guys all real time on how the move went and where we are. But we are delighted to be sharing really positive solutions about this new community that I am moving to. And this week so far, we have covered transportation, regenerative farming, we have covered housing, we have covered school buses, and now we are talking education and delicious things. Kristy, what's today's headline?
Well, it's not just education, although it does touch on education. What we're really talking about is education and health and how they're intricately linked. And the headline reads that cultivating school gardens encourages children to eat more vegetables. And this is actually a more recent article than some of the ones we've been focused on, because we've been looking back into our archives. Some of the things we looked at were from before the COVID pandemic, so sort of harkening back to different times. But this one is from February 11th of 2021. Mm-hmm. And it focuses on a study that was conducted by researchers at University of Texas in Austin. And they worked with 16 elementary schools across the state to grow vegetable gardens and lead courses for students and parents about gardening and nutrition. Mm-hmm. And what they found was that students who participated in those gardening and cooking classes ate, on average, a half a serving of vegetables more per day than their plant-free peers, than those kids who didn't have that kind of experience with actually growing food and learning how to process that food and learning how to create these kinds of meals that are based in the vegetables that they grow themselves at their school gardens. It may not sound like a lot, that average half a serving of vegetables, but really, when it comes to changing your daily food habits, that is a significant amount. And that just means that you're going to be bringing those plant-based foods into your everyday diet. And if you get that in your childhood, that's going to carry on throughout your lifetime.
Right. Well, so 2 comments. 1, in real time, because I am in the midst of actually leaving and packing and I'm completely disorganized, I have been so remiss in eating vegetables myself this past week, but poor Brennan has broccoli at every meal because it's like the only vegetable that I can really quickly grab and make sure she eats. But I am currently in the process of IMing with her nanny, who was like, oh, I stopped to get a piece of pizza. And I was like, grab one for me and maybe some for Brennan, because tomato sauce is vegetable.
It is, yeah.
Right. So,
and my son, who has refused to eat vegetables his entire life, the only thing he will eat is broccoli. He's 15 now, or 14, almost 15.
Yeah, broccoli is the parenting panacea. But part of why I needed to move was that the home that we have, and you guys have, if you've been listening to the Optimist Daily Update, the home that we have in the space that we lived in California, we just simply didn't have room for a vegetable garden. We didn't have room. I have a green thumb. I love gardening. I have my orchids galore and houseplants up the wazoo, but there was just no place for us to really get involved in growing our own food. And when I was a child and I grew up in Colorado, every summer we had a robust zucchini farm. We really, really loved feeding ourselves from our garden, and I am delighted to be able to do that. What I love about this story is that it's also focusing on giving that education to children so that they understand from the basis where it comes from. The school we're going to enroll Brennan in does, in fact, have a garden and chickens and goats, and she's going to be able to have that experience, and I am so fortunate and grateful for it. And I love that schools all across the country have the ability to do this. So I'm excited. I love this study and I love this story. And it makes me feel even better about this adventure that currently, as I sit, is ahead, but currently, as you listen, is behind us. And I look forward to telling you all about how it went. And Kristy, I think you are spending your time in a community that does a lot of gardening and food development as well, right?
In the past, yes, although it's winter, so there's nothing much growing right now. And in the past, we did more than recently. But yes, my extended friends and family and I love organic gardening. And there's something about watching a seed blossom into a plant and then give fruit and seeing it through the whole cycle. It makes you appreciate where your food comes from in a way that you can't really understand when you just go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
If you ever do go to the grocery store. So there's something, it's very magical watching food grow. And when you watch where it grows, and this turns out that when children, they get a lot more excited about eating a tomato, for example, when they plant that tomato seed, they nurture it and they pick it off of the bush. It does taste a lot better when you get a freshly picked tomato. That's true too. But there's something very magical about that whole being involved, that whole process. There's some mindfulness that gets brought into what you're eating because you know where it came from. And so that's why I love this study. I think it's innovative and it's wonderful. And it teaches and the fact that the parents are included to teach them new recipes to encourage how these healthy habits can take root. I just love it. And I think if there's a way you're going to have some land, but I don't have any area to grow things in my little backyard. Although I was walking Tucker the other day and I did see a sign about, hey, if you're interested in a community agriculture
I was going to say
plot,
community garden, right?
A community garden. And I'm thinking about maybe I'll look into that. Not that I have a ton of time, but I do really appreciate having a place that has enough sun and some dirt I would like to grow some zucchini next summer, maybe. Right.
I like it. Well,
So,
if you don't get a chance, you can come eat zucchini at our house. Come visit me in Austin. Kristy, Amelia, thank you everybody for all of your support for me on this journey that I am about to embark upon, but is actually already done as you're listening. We would like to thank everybody for listening to the Optimist Daily Update and for your commitment to optimism and sharing something good. We promise we will continue to share positive, solution-based stories about things that you can do to make this world a better place. Thanks for listening to the Optimist Daily Update, everybody. Become an emissary, and we'll be back with real episodes next week.
This is a real episode, Summers. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, with like long episodes, not while I'm waiting for my pizza.
Not the Austin minisodes. Okay, great. Yes,
All right.
We'll be back and talk to y'all later.
Bye, guys.